My intern is doing phonics this week. I have control issues, apparently. Intern's first observation. Good morning. I got here super early today. Like, I don't know what, like, what is up with me today? Yeah, I got here at 7:05. Boom. How did I do that? I don't know. A couple things. Okay, first up, let me go ahead and get the stuff that we're doing today. Let me go grab it. Hold on. All right, so I don't have everything that I'm doing because my intern is doing phonics this week. She has all the stuff that we're working on, so I'm not actually, I have to look at my planner. I'm not even sure what the letter is today. It's the suffix S. And she was like, "Are you serious? This is the one I get?" I'm like, "Sorry, it's just the way it came out." So she also has, they have this decodable reader they're gonna get too. She has all the morning stuff all set up, so she has her stuff for all of her morning stuff. So then like they have, I think they're working on 12 today. Interactive notebook today, they're gonna be counting by tens. Today and probably tomorrow, it's gonna be write numbers in different ways. So I'll usually divide that up to 2 different ones, which I might actually get, let me rephrase that. I'm going to do a whole lesson on how to like break the numbers apart. So they have their little toolboxes, and so they'll go ahead and use those with me to kind of figure out different ways of making numbers. We're learning about animals. So I grabbed our studies weekly, and then we have this sheet that goes with it. Sorry, I'm not doing very well at this. All right, so I'm gonna use this morning, try to get some stuff done. But like I said, she has control of the whole morning except for guided reading. Today, they're going to get their writing journals, and we're gonna learn about work on writing. So they're gonna be practicing their like writing quietly for a little bit. They'll also get their writing folders, which look like it's like a plastic folder. And then inside, it has their alphabet chart and a blend and digraph chart. And they also have these little like word books on the floor that came with socks in that they can use too. So they'll keep those inside their bin, so that way they have access to all that stuff while they are doing their work. See you guys. Good morning. So I got here early again today. Like, how exciting is that? I mean, not by much, not as much as yesterday. Yesterday I was about 5 minutes earlier than this, but the breakfast shows up like 7:20. So that's what happened yesterday. I was in the middle of vlogging, and then bam, the breakfast showed up. So my intern did her first phonics lesson yesterday, and it was good. She did really well. And I asked her when she was done. I was like, "So how do you felt like you did?" And she was like, "A 5." And I'm like, and she's like, 10. I'm like, no. I think you were higher than that. I really did. Like, I don't really think it was that awful, like, at all. I even think about it when I get my observations and stuff, and I'm being evaluated. I think they're worse than what they are. I'm happy it went well. Her first big lesson went well. I'm so happy for her. So it was awesome. So just want to share that news with you guys. So today I'm going to try to figure out what we're doing for science. Science Weekly was about my body this time. Not my body. So I'm going to see if I can find some freebies or something on that because the packet that I bought did not have that. There was one, now I'm thinking about it, about senses. Maybe I can do one about the senses. Let me look into, I'll check into that. Her next week, she'll be taking over writing. I think I'll have her start using the Wonders curriculum. So I'll just have her go through, and then when she gets done with the grammar and all that stuff, she'll just stop. And then maybe she can throw in like an activity with them where they're doing some practice writing. I was basically getting them used to writing a sentence. So we've been working a lot on sentences and making sure our sentences are correct, make sure they're in the right order, make sure they have punctuation and capitals, and continue that for the rest of this week. And then next week, she can start with this other stuff. So hopefully that'll work out well. It's almost 7:15. That means breakfast will be here soon. So I'm gonna start getting on to work. Oh my gosh. Today, I brought my AirPods with me because I have control issues, apparently. I mean, I've been doing this is my first intern, so like it's totally new. But she was teaching phonics yesterday, which she was doing fine. Like it wasn't like there was any issue, but it was like every little thing a kid would do, I'd be like, stop it. I'm like, I have to give you like the chance to fix those situations and you have to learn from them. But I did notice I got super bored. So I was trying to get stuff ready for, like, I was like, oh, okay, I have all this time to get stuff ready for next week and for reading groups and everything. I can totally see how teachers now that have interns, by the end, when the student teacher is done and they're leaving, the teacher's like, I'm so glad to be able to take over my class again. Yes, that's exactly how I felt. I'm like, I was so glad in the afternoon to be able to teach because I just got so bored sitting here. So, and I started doing running records yesterday. So when I created this little like binder that's full of stuff that has all the passages and stuff in it, but I wanted to get all their books set up. So in a minute, I'm going to try to print off their books so I can like assemble the books and everything when she's teaching or on my prep time or whatever. All right, anyway, I'm going to get to it because breakfast is going to be here in a few minutes and I have done nothing. Good morning, it is Friday, and today is my intern's first observation that I get to do on her. I don't think she's as nervous because I've been like watching her teach anyways, so she's gonna be doing it on phonics. She's also gonna have, for the school that she's at, because her school is an online school, so she went and did like all of her stuff online, but she also worked at a school for like 2 years or something. Because their program is done that way and no one's local, she doesn't have a university supervisor that comes to our schools. Our principal is technically her university supervisor, so he will come in and do observations also. So she has her observation with him on Tuesday. I think she's pretty nervous about, but I'm gonna kind of give her some tips on what I know he looks for. So what she has to do is she schedules the observation online, it sends me a thing, I have all the layout, and I just click through the things that I see. I don't think I'm gonna do it as she is teaching, but I'm gonna take notes as she's teaching, probably in like Google Docs or something, and that way I can send it to her too and say, these are the things that I noticed or whatever, you know. It's kind of what my principal does for me. So I think that might be good for her to kind of have that experience too. But I'm kind of excited though. My first time observing. Yeah, we have to do 3 observations. So I have one that's due by October 9th, one by November something, and one in December, I think. But I can do it earlier than that, which I probably will, because we're gonna have Thanksgiving break before that. So I'll probably do an observation right before Thanksgiving break, so she's not racing, because it's like she's done and then she graduates. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get to today, because the breakfasts are probably gonna show up like anytime. I'm surprised there hasn't been a knock at the door yet, and I've been interrupted. So I'm gonna get to it. What a day. Like today it was a rough day, and I felt so horrible for my intern today, because it was like today was her observation, of course, so I'm observing her and kids were just being super rude the whole time. It wasn't her fault at all. Like that was not normal, because she's been teaching this whole week and has not had this situation. I don't know what today was like. Yeah, the lesson was really good though. She did a really nice job there. So we did talk about it afterwards, and she was just like, gosh, that was horrible. I'm like, really? The lesson wasn't bad. Those 2 students were just being so rude, and it just wouldn't stop. When I look at it that way, it's like, yes, we did talk about like some ways to handle the situations, and but I did tell her, I'm like, I'm not sure if it would have made it any better, because whatever I did didn't make it really any better. It just kept going, because the student was going to do whatever the student was going to do. That was just the way it was going to be. It was not a fun day for either one of us. It was very frustrating. But she kept her cool, and we talked about it before too. It was weird because we talked about it. I said, when the situations, if they do happen, you just try to keep your cool as much as you can. I mean, it does get frustrating, and that it does happen, but you got to keep your cool as much as possible. And I'm not going to ding her on a kid's rotten behavior that day. It happened to me in the afternoon. The same exact thing continued in the afternoon. It didn't make it any different who it was. The student just wanted to act up. So those things happen. And so, but I am glad that she got to experience it, because when I did my student teaching, I didn't get to experience those things. So when they did happen in the classroom, they were kind of like a shocker, like, oh, wow, these things actually happen. Otherwise, I mean, like the day ended so nicely, but that's because we did our art project, and we did a hedgehog, that they did a directed drawing of a hedgehog, and then they got to, my nose is bothering, they got to paint it with the watercolors, which they always really love. So, but I felt horrible for her evaluation. Like she was just like devastated when it was over with. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't your fault. It really wasn't. That wasn't happening to you. It was happening in front of you. It wouldn't have changed the situation no matter how much experience you had. The situation was going to happen. So, and I thought she handled it really well. Anyway, that's that. I hope you guys like what you saw. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on all of my social medias listed down below. Click the little bell notification. I did it out of order. Click the little bell notification to get notified every single time I post. And until next time, please don't forget to always be you.